morning, everybody. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Today's video is about electrification, and will I ever have it? Electrification does not sound like that. No, sir, it does not. But on a serious note, you know, you have the government and everybody preaching electric cars, electric cars, electric cars. They're good for the environment, they're good for you, they're good for everybody. Oh, yes, it's so nice. Well, let's think about that for just a few minutes. Again, first, the car does not sound like your modern car, you know. That's one of the reasons I like the cars that I have, is because of the way they sound. You know, you don't buy a performance car so it could be quiet. Now, yes, I know, before everybody gets in an uproar, that the electric cars are a lot quicker out of the hole and everything. Yes, I understand that, because it has the instant torque of the electric motors. You know, once you hit that gas, you've got full power at your disposal. It's not like having to wait on a car to spool up or anything. And that's all fine and dandy, but again, your car is just too quiet. And I don't know, some people like it, some people don't. It's totally up to you. I'm not telling you not to get one, but there's a lot of factors that you need to think about before you get one. Yes, they give you a large incentive to buy one, you know. Oh, we'll give you this much off, this much rebate. Okay, that's nice, that's really nice. Okay, you get one, you take it home, you plug it into your house, and you go out and check it, and it says it's going to take 24 hours to charge. Think about that, 24 hours to charge. You're going to be at work tomorrow, right? So, plugging it into the regular 110 charger takes forever to get a charge on. I mean, forever, ladies and gentlemen. So there's one thing you got to think about. Now, yes, they have chargers around that you go plug into and everything, and you know, you have to sit there and wait, and still that takes a couple hours. So you have to plan everything you do around charging your car. Alright, you've got that. And you know, like I said, you know, they're quiet, they're clean. You don't have the regular maintenance that you do, and we'll get back to maintenance in a little bit, but you know, like changing the oil and the transmission fluid and all that stuff, you don't have that. But think about this also. You can't wait on your car to charge up overnight, so you're going to have to buy a larger charger for your car. Well, your house isn't set up for that. So now you got to have an electrician come out. The charger's a couple $100. You got to have your electrician come out, run a brand new dedicated line just for that charger. If your panel, if your breaker box has the extra room for said breaker, you know, if it doesn't have enough room, well, now he's going to have to add a sub panel just for that car, just for that charger. Now you're talking about $1,000 up, and let's hope he doesn't have to cut into the sheetrock and all that to run the line, because now you're going to have a sheetrock guy out there to patch the holes. And then you're going to have a painter come out to paint the patch. You know, it's just so many things that a lot of people don't think about. Now back to the maintenance part. After so long, the batteries don't hold a charge like they once did, you know, like when they were new, especially if you live up in the northern climates, where the cold temperatures drain batteries very, very quickly. So they're going to get to where they don't hold a charge. Now you can take them in, and they could work on them and everything and get them back to where they'll hold a lot more charge than what they used to. Yeah, that's all fine and dandy. But again, there's anywhere from $400 all the way up to $1,000. Well, let's assume that it's not the panels, it's not the relays in there. Let's assume that it's the battery, okay? You're actually sitting on the battery. The whole bottom of your car is your battery. Well, now the car had the car has to come off the top of the battery. So now you got to take it into the shop and and you can't just take it to any shop. It's going to have to be their recognized dealer. Otherwise, they won't warranty anything. They won't warranty the old battery. They won't warranty the new battery. They won't give you a discount on the cost. Nothing. Now you're looking at $5,000 to $9,000 just for the battery. That's right, just for that battery. Then you got the labor to put it in and everything else. There's just a lot of things that people don't realize about these things. You know, oh, it's great, let me go out and get one. Okay. And let's just say, you know, it's summertime. Oh, let's go to grandma's. Grandma lives 5 states over. That's great. Let's hop in the car and go. We're battery, we can make it, won't cost us nothing. Wrong. You're going to have to plan your trips, your routes around charging stations if your car battery will not hold up to the mileage it takes to get to grandma's house. And then don't forget, once you get to grandma's house, you got to charge it there too. Is she set up for a charger? But anyhow, you got to plan your trips around charging stations. It might take you out of the way. It might take you an extra hour to get there because you have to go the route of the chargers rather than down the main highways. You might have to get off at major cities, go into the inner city to charge your vehicle just to finish your trip. Well, then again, it's still going to take, even with these super fast chargers, it's going to take between 3 to 6 hours to charge your car in most cases. So now you've got to plan something to do during that 3 to 6 hours. Whether it's have dinner, whether it's go to, you know, somewhere to do some shopping. And then if you have kids, multiply that times the amount of kids you have, because there's that much more trouble. You know, there's just so much involved with these electric cars. And then let's not forget where the batteries are even manufactured. You know, most people, you know, just because it comes in the car, they don't stop to think about where the batteries are manufactured. Well, first off, these batteries are what it takes to make these batteries right now. Now, it might change in the future, but right now it's manufactured in countries where they use child labor, you know, 11, 12. If you're old enough to walk and carry a bucket, you're old enough to get into these mines where they get the goods to make the batteries. And the product that it takes to make these batteries is very, very hazardous. I mean, you can't breathe it, you can't touch it. I mean, it's just super hazardous. So what do you think it's doing to these people's life expectancies? You know, it's just, at what cost of us having a little bit of good is worth it? Think about that. If you knew that your car is going to take 15 to 20 years off of somebody's life just so you could have your battery operated car, would you buy it? I mean, just think about that for just a few minutes. If it's going to cut somebody's life expectancy in half, is that car really worth it? To me, it's not. Now, I know you've got the argument about the fossil fuels and, you know, it's destroying the planet and everything. Well, I understand that to a certain degree, and you have a legitimate argument. I'm not going to knock you for that. You know, but it's the way the system is set up right now, and the battery cars, as they are right now, is not a legitimate alternative because of how the batteries are produced, what it takes to produce the batteries. You know, there's just so many things that it's just not feasible. The infrastructure is not there for the charging station. Now it's slowly coming on board. You know, Tesla and a lot of other manufacturers, as well as a lot of car manufacturers now, are helping with the infrastructure, because all car manufacturers, especially GM wants 17 of their 22 lines of cars to be all electric within 3 years. 17 to 22 to be all electric within 3 years. So GM's going all in with this. They're already working with Honda and a few other places to work out the systems and everything, because Honda, you know, is one of the forefront leaders, as well as Tesla, on the automated cars and the batteries and all that stuff. So they're teaming up with Honda to work on this stuff. And that's all fine and dandy, you know. Anything new is going to be outrageous. Anything new is going to cost a lot. And it's the people that have the money to afford that luxury which paved the way. Look at the satellites when they first come out. Remember the big old 8-foot dishes you had in the yard? $3 grand for a satellite dish. Most people ain't gonna pay $3,000 to watch TV. But the ones that did do it, the ones that could do it, paved the way for the satellites to get smaller, the services to get smaller, the prices to come way down, you know. So I understand that we're just in the infancy. But I get asked all the time if electric cars is for me, and I'm just going to go ahead and say it right now. No, no, and more no. Not for me. Heck no. Because because everything is already set up. It's kind of like convenience stores. You got a convenience store a mile from your house, and in your regular grocery store is 15 miles from the house. Well, 9 times out of 10, if you need a half a gallon of milk or a drink, you're going to stop at that convenience store. Even though it costs more, you're going to stop at that convenience store to save from having to drive that 15 miles. You know, it's just convenience and for lack of a better term, laziness. You know. But I just wanted to make a quick video about this because I get asked all the time. People are always like, well, what do you think about electric cars? 10, 15 years from now, I think they'll be great. Right now, no. No. And it's not within my future because it's already to the point of where you're having to pay extra for these cars just for the services in the car. Like, they're wanting to put all everything standard in cars and then make you pay for it. In other words, they want to put heated seats. They want to put large infotainment centers in your cars. They want to put, you know, GPS. They want to put all this stuff in your car. And then depending on what you want to pay for is what you can actually use in your car. It's like giving you an app and say, well, if you want to use anything on the app, you got to pay for it, you know. Well, what's the point of giving me the app? Why don't you just sell the app and then I get everything in it free, you know. It's kind of like bait and switch almost. But that's just my opinion. It's not for me. I could see if you live in the inner city where you only drive 5 miles to work, you know, a charge might last you a couple weeks. Something like that, I can understand it. But I'm not going to buy a car and then it's so quiet that they're actually giving me a choice of engine sounds to run through my speakers, so as I'm accelerating or braking, it sounds like a real car. If I want a real car sound, I'm going to buy a real car. It's like eating turtle. Well, I know most of you want to eat turtle, but the first thing you're going to say is, what does it taste like? Anybody that's eaten it before is going to tell you it tastes like chicken. If I wanted something that tastes like chicken, why not just eat chicken? It's kind of counterintuitive. But I just wanted to put this video out there because a lot of people don't really think about what all goes into these electric cars, what it takes to maintain them, you know, all that stuff. And, you know, right now Tesla gives you updates. How long before they start charging for the updates? How long before you can't even get an update for your car? You know, like if you buy one of the original Teslas, how long is that computer in that car going to be able to handle the software updates that Tesla sends it? Because they send it, you know, over the air directly to the car. It doesn't go through your house or anything. The updates for the software and all that stuff go directly into the car from Tesla. Well, like I said, how long before they start charging for that service? And then second thought on that is, how long before that car cannot handle the upgrades or updates for the software? There's just so much that people really need to think about on these things that just don't understand. Now I know that there's been comparisons and everything, you know. Are gas cars really cheaper to drive than electric cars? And right up front, the answer is yes, by a long shot. But by the time you know, over years, they figure in mileage, wear and tear, maintenance, and all that stuff. You know, by the time all that is formulated into several years of owning the cars, the electric car comes out ahead by, you know, some say a good bit. I don't know the percentage, I don't have it in front of me, I forget what it is, but that's what they say. So, you know, there's just a lot to think about, that if you're thinking about getting one of these said electric cars that you might not have thought of before, and if you see this video and you know somebody that's thinking about it, point them to the video. Maybe it'll help them decide, because I know there's a lot that people don't think about, you know. Because, oh, let's just go buy the car, we get this huge rebate, and all we got to do is plug it into the house and charge it. It's not quite that simple. And I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to sign off, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank each and every one of you so very much for watching. And like I said, we'll see you in the next one.